Hey there, and welcome to a fabulous Chubs Gone Wild, episode 433, recorded on February 28th, 2022, where it's currently supposed to be about 70 degrees and partly cloudy outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios. And it is, oh my God, can you believe this? 245 days till Halloween. Oh, I hope TJ is on track. I really do. I'm worried about her costume this year. It's got to be fabulous. Also, guess what? We are now in the 200s when it comes to Christmas. 299 days until a fabulous Christmas for 2022. Also, it's just 17 days until St. Patrick's Day. You got your green ready?
I don't leave the house. What do I need to wear green for?
Well, you celebrate.
Yeah, I've got my Irish whiskey ready.
Oh, there you go.
I got my Irish cream ready. Now we just have to. We haven't been able to find any Guinness. So,
well,
like Costco didn't have Guinness yet. It's weird.
That is weird, actually. Maybe probably tomorrow it'll like appear and go on sale.
Well, that's what we thought. Yeah. I mean, the grocery stores will start to have it too. So we'll just
right.
Yeah, you don't need a case of it. Believe me, you don't need a case.
That is true. I actually do have some whiskey in the house, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just have a shot. I don't really drink, but it might be worth it on that day. But as far as the Irish cream, I got that. I got so much of that, girl. Can't even tell you.
Is this dirty?
Well, I was trying, but anyway. So first, before we begin anything else, happy birthday, Chub hugs to Kathy Bacon.
Starting tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but like a weekend, so I figured we'll just start the celebrating now because this won't post until like after midnight. So
well, it won't post until after Wednesday. So
hey, now it'll get there.
So I guess it's okay. I can see that it would be fine because
So Chub hugs to Kathy Bacon. And a reminder that Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please consider becoming a patron of the show for as little as $1 a month and go over and check out our page at patreon.com/MattBurlingame. Anyway, so it's time to talk about a little history. Find out what the hell went on these days. So here we go. Starting with the chemical structure of DNA was discovered. That's wild, isn't it? No?
Oh, okay.
The MLB commissioner suspends players in a drug scandal, and that happened in 1986. In 2013, Pope Benedict resigns. I did not have a problem with that. In fact, I was ready to help him find the door on his way out. In 1994, first NATO military action. 1982, the Getty Museum was endowed. In 1993, the ATF raids Branch Davidian compound. You remember that whole thing? The Branch Davidians? No, nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was in Waco.
I know where it was.
That was, I think, where Nephi was born. Anyway, all right. In 18, he's probably like, what? No, it wasn't. Anyway, 1844, Tyler narrowly escaped death on the USS Princeton. And in 1861, Congress created Colorado Territory. And, okay, 1983, the final episode of MASH aired. Interesting.
Especially with the death of Sally Kellerman.
Exactly. That's what I was.
I mean, who wasn't in the series, but she was the original Hot Lips Houlihan. So
exactly.
Wow, it's kind of It's like the circle of life.
Circle of life. I only saw it once. I kind of know the song. In 1986, Gorbachev calls for a nuclear weapons treaty. Wow, he was pretty sane. Also, in 1784, John Wesley charters the First Methodist Church in the U.S. Also, 1944, test pilot Rich, I'm not pronouncing that, pitches Suicide Squad to Hitler. Oh, okay, that's crazy. So that's what happened today in history. Do you feel educated?
No, I just wonder why there isn't more positive things that happen on days that you announce. They're always so negative.
Well, history has a thing about being, and that becomes bigger up the food chain because of news. It's
but aren't good things happening every day?
They are, but we rarely take notice of them. In fact, there has to be special newsletters from places that come out and says, oh, here's some happy news.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's see if we celebrated a holiday today. Today we celebrate Car Keys and Small Change Day. Well, I don't have either of those. Also, Floral Design. That's me. That's you. You got your sunflowers behind you, which is the national flower of Ukraine.
Oh, is that why it's there?
Well, I was waiting for you to say something, but
like half hour you didn't say anything.
You just kept looking like, God, I really need some chicken strips. All right.
Oh, by the way, they have a family special over at Popeyes. It's like 14 chicken strips for and two large sides and biscuits for $19.99.
Yeah, that's not really family size. That's more just a me size. But yeah, that sounds really good, actually. Anyway, gotta move on. International Repetitive Strain Injury Awareness Day. So basically, like the carpal tunnel and shit. Chocolate souffle, public sleeping. You don't want to do that these days. Also, National Science Day, Tooth Fairies, Rare Disease. Oh, that's not a happy one. Rare Disease. And Shrove.
What's public sleeping?
I guess when you fall asleep on the subway or something.
And that's something to celebrate?
I guess. It's celebrate if you wake up and you don't have where somebody got something on you, if you know what I mean. And those are the fabulous holidays that we celebrate today. And there's no day like today. Today's affirmation, join me, please. Deep breath. I choose to feel good about myself today and every day. Yeah, that's giving me a complex. Let's move on. Today, we celebrate some birthdays, including Kathy Bacon. Yay!
His birthday month starts tomorrow.
That is true. But by the time you hear this, it'll be a day in or so. A week, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, today we also celebrate happy birthday to Marshall, Steve, Lisa, Anne Marie. Oh, she did many shows with us. Was in our original Countess Dracula as Lucy. Also Danielle, Marilyn. Oh, Marilyn, she helped us at the theater for a while with our friend Stephen. Also Joseph. Oh, Joseph. He did. He was in the shows that you guys did without me. Yeah, sweet guy. Also Geraldo. Steve. Cormine. I can never pronounce that. Cormine. Steve, Jimmy. Oh, Rob. One of the Robs from the Robs. Also Kay, Tom, Lamont's Ricky Burton. Oh no, that Ricky from Foul Monkeys. Also, oh, that Mark. We know Mark. He lives in Florida now. And Jeffrey and Matt and Michael. Happy birthday, everybody. Oh, and Kathy Bacon. Did I say Kathy Bacon? I didn't want to forget that. Well, speaking of, let's see, we do have a little bit of stuff in our feedback. Sean wrote in and said that he agrees with us on the advice column. Divorce that woman and get out of there.
Yeah, I don't care how old he is.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather be alone than be with somebody like that.
Forget that stuff. Also, we do have a call from Ms. Bacon. And while you will not hear it on the video, if you're listening to the video, you will hear it now in the audio. Well, thank you for calling Miss Bacon. And we want to send, she said that she wants us to give her chub hugs at the beginning and ending of each show this month. We've already begun. And she also asked what cockles are. What cockles of the heart? Well, I actually looked it up because I was kind of curious too. And the term warm the cockles of one's hearts actually dates back to the mid 1600s, a time when scientific texts were often written in Latin. Anyway, so the Latin term cochleae cordis means ventricles of the heart. And most probably the word cochleae was corrupted as cockles. So that's what they think. But no one knows. Anyway, and she also was talking about that she replaced a roller to her treadmill all by herself, which is freaking awesome. And it's a 23-year-old treadmill. Oh my God. That is like over half my life.
You know, a cockle is also a mollusk.
Yes.
With a strong ribbed shell or a small shallow boat.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know people are out there going, yeah, I thought it was like a shellfish or something, you know.
Right. And I looked at, and I was thinking that too, but I was like, well, why would you put cockles in your heart, cockle shells?
I thought when you said it, like, because I thought of them as what is it, barnacles that stick to boats.
Okay.
I thought, oh, so it's the cockles of your heart are the buildup of, you know, like gunk of stuff that goes in your heart. And I thought that's really weird to celebrate that, but okay.
Yeah.
I guess if you warm it, maybe it goes away.
I don't know, but I have watched a few documentaries on how they clean all the barnacles and stuff off the bottom of boats and stuff. So, especially the big ships, it's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, 23-year-old treadmill. I'm blown away that you still have one and it functions. That's awesome. So we have some chub hugs other than Ms. Bacon that we do want to send out, starting with Emmett, whose mom is at home but is now on hospice care. So we send Emmett and his mom and family a lot of love and big chub hugs. And what do you got?
Well, you know, to the people of Ukraine who have been either forced under their homes into parking structures that protect them from the bombing, the constant bombing, and also to the people of Poland for being nice enough to let these immigrants that are traveling from Ukraine to get away from the battling to bring their pets with them, and not leaving their pets in their apartment and having to leave, or their home and having to leave.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's always scared me about if there was a national disaster or something, wanting to make sure that my pets were with me and safe, and what that might entail. So.
Oh, and I also have one more.
Yes.
To Kathy Bacon on the eve of her birthday month.
Yay! I feel the bacon love.
Oh, speaking of that, last night Oh,
Yeah.
this is terribly fat, but um, we had a bunch of bacon that we had to cook because
Uh-huh.
it had been a while, with this whole bacon shortage. So it's like when it costs too much, even if I have it, I don't use it. I don't know why. So we
Yep.
had to use the bacon. So there were like a lot of pieces. There were probably like 15 pieces of bacon,
Nice.
and yeah, no, 13. Anyway, so I made bacon and eggs with hash browns. That was really good. And then we all of a sudden were like so hungry that I made BLTs as well.
Oh, BLTs are wonderful.
Oh, and it was all so good. It was so
Mhm.
good, but so fat. I, I'm- I probably shouldn't even have lunch today because I had it last night at 10 o'clock while watching American Idol.
Yeah, fuck that. Eat it. Have your chicken strips. It's wonderful. I love bacon, but yeah, it's just it's out of my budget now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I saw cheap bacon at Food Co, which is a Kroger's.
Hmm.
It was like a pound of bacon and it was like $16.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was crappy bacon. It wasn't, you know, premium bacon. I could see
Mhm.
thicker bacon or, a couple pounds for that price. But no, this was a pound of bacon for $16.
Yeah, it's just, and it's who knows with everything going on, how much worse the prices and stuff are going to get on a lot of things. So it's just insane and a little worrying.
Keep it positive.
Yep, exactly. Well, you know what? The Texas DAs, sorry, Texas DAs kept it positive by refusing to uphold the governor's order to investigate parents of trans kids for child abuse and said, I can tell you now, my office won't be participating in this political game. And that was from the Harris County attorney, Christian D. Manafee. So props to him. Um, Florida GOP, of course, passed the Don't Say Gay bill. Fuck them. Legendary actor Harvey Fierstein
Sorry,
said,
Steve.
Fierstein, he's wonderful, whatever he is. Anyway, he still wonders whether I'm a man or a woman. But he also said he thinks that he may be non-binary, but he also doesn't think he's missed anything by not making up his mind. So that's pretty cool. He was my first real gay movie was Torch Song Trilogy. So he will always have a huge, huge place in my heart. All right, hate group called for the hate church that called for the death of gay people now is getting what they deserve, as they said, I would love it if every fag would die right now. Pastor Jonathan Shelley preached last year. However, now they are getting evicted. Womp womp. And finally, Sally Kellerman, as we mentioned before, Hot Lips Houlihan, the original from the movie MASH, died at age 84. The raspy voiced beauty famously appeared not only in MASH, as well as the 1986 comedy Back to School opposite Rodney Dangerfield, and so much more. She did lots and lots of stage work, didn't she?
I'm not sure of her stage work, but I think the reason why you like her so much is
Mhm.
because she always seemed to play a character of um, I don't give a fuck what you do with your life. She tended to be or encouraging you to live your own life. That type of. I think she was drawn to those kind of parts, even though Hot Lips was a bit of a prude. But you know, when she didn't know it, uh, you know, she was anything but a prude. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I always liked her as well. She was, but she was during that time period of the 70s when everything was so well. The 70s were just a different era for movies. They really were.
Yes. Yeah.
Just weird movies that today you'd go, that shouldn't even be a TV movie. Why would they make that movie? And it's like because they were more
Uh,
interested in characters than they were about story arc. And
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
And sometimes not great characters either. I mean, some of the old Jack Nicholson stuff from that time period, not a fan, not a fan.
Yeah, there's some early movies in the 70s I've tried to watch that I'm just like, huh?
Yeah,
What?
watch the Last Picture Show.
Oh,
Oh my God. It's about this small town where everybody's looking to get out of the town, and it's just dry and dusty and tumbleweeds in the street. And it's like, why would you live there? Why are
yeah.
you living there?
Yeah. I remember. Now, were the Porky's movies 70s, late 70s, 80s, or were they all 80s?
Well, they were made in the 80s,
Okay.
but I don't know what era they were they set in current age?
I don't know, but I just equated them with like the late 70s because to me, when I watched them, they were just all that same late 70s feel where you're just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Well, I only watched it the one time because I had heard that Meat actually showed his meat and he never did. So after that, there wasn't any more reason to watch it because it's
Yeah,
a horrible film.
it really
Although
is.
it's
Yeah.
a horrible film made by a filmmaker who gave us A Christmas Story and Black Christmas, two of the greatest Christmas movies, also gave us Porky. So
Oh, well, I'm sure there's some redeeming something in there somewhere. I mean, I'm
yeah,
not
it made a lot of
anti-Porky. It
money.
just did not. I'm just like, I don't care. Anyway,
Because we weren't interested in seeing what the girls' shower looks like.
right. I was way more interested in seeing what the guy's shower was like, and they
Yeah.
just didn't do that back then. So, all right. Anyway,
That's all.
Tom wants to talk to you about.
Oh my God, it's already then?
Yeah.
Go there. Okay. Let's see. First of all, okay, I've got to remember because I have stuff that I know I did last week with you, so I don't want to talk about that. Last night we had the end of the Rice Gemstones
Oh yeah.
season finale, and we finally found out who was trying to kill John Goodman, and it was actually a very funny episode. Just it brought the whole family back together, and it's like, okay, the Gemstones are tight, but we did find out where that's what happened in that storyline that was going on, so that was good. But the second season was a really good season. It really focused on more. I mean, we already know these people are crooks in religious crooks, but we have to like them a little bit. So they've given us a point to where, okay, now we like characters and we want to see them succeed, even though we know they're bad. Because there's others that are even worse than they are.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. So on RuPaul's Drag Race this week, they got rid of it's Kelly Colby. Actually, she just played last night in Sacramento.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Faces now has a Sunday night drag show.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and hopefully we'll see that just getting bigger and better because of Lady Camden, who's from Sacramento as well. So, but she was one of the first queens that you thought, oh, wow, we're starting to take from the better queens, seeing them, because you get 12, 13 girls at the beginning, and the first 5 or 6, you're like going, well, yeah, we knew that was going to happen.
Well, I remember when there was one season where one of them walked in and how they do, and they introduced themselves, and they're all filler queen, and it's like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So Gilded Age this week was well, it just gets better and better. It really does. I love the just the nasty bitchiness of because I mean, on Downton Abbey we actually dealt with as much of the men as we dealt with the women.
Yes.
This is really, the women are forward here. I mean, they're married, they have husbands, there's sons and stuff like that, but it's really female forward, and that's more fun anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't know if well, when the one girl shows up with the used shoes at the black girl's house.
I haven't caught up with the last chapter.
Oh my God, it's so uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's so you'll see. I mean, that's not really ruining anything, but it's so uncomfortable. And they're dealing with the racism of that time period as well. So it's really a fun show, an educating show as well. Let's see. Big Brother finished, Celebrity Big Brother finished. Misha, who was an MMA player, she won. Todrick lost because he was working too hard, too fast, too much, and it caught up with him. But you know what? There's all sorts of crap on the internet now about him. Oh well, they're talking about this, they're talking about that, but you know what? No one's talking about him anymore. It's over. Yeah. So
there's always going to be people with stories that come out that they were disgruntled about something.
Sure,
could be true, could be just their experience. Who knows?
Yeah, and it's but it's also the fact that if you're famous, people are going to talk smack about you.
Oh yeah,
just goes without saying.
Because I got a few smack stories about people. Anyway.
Let's see. We got one show before the end of After Party, which is the Tiffany Haddish series, the murder mystery series, and looking forward to seeing how that one ends. Because I don't know if I can't imagine that they're going to have another season because it's solving a crime. But who knows? They could. Just would have to be a different cast, except for. Let's see. We finally finished the QAnon documentary that we've been watching for about 6 months on HBO, and it's only like 6 episodes, but after every episode, you're just like, oh my God, I cannot believe this bullshit, and then you don't go to the next episode. And finally, it's like, we need to watch this. Let's watch it and finish it, which we did. So. Still watching Inventing Anna on Netflix, which we're really liking. Really interesting show. We found out, I didn't even realize that Ruth, Julia, I can't think of her last name, Julia from Ozarks, who plays Ruth, is Anna in the show. Because she's, until you look at her a certain way, you're like, oh my God, that's Ruth. What's she doing on here? And it's nice to see good actors getting more work. So. Let's see, American Idol started last night, and it's already so good.
Oh, you think it's good? Okay.
Yeah, I love American Idol.
Okay.
And I like it's so different from The Voice, because The Voice brings in professionals and gives them an opportunity at a television show. Where American Idol, I mean, some of these people are working at it, but no one's really a star, or no one's been touring for 35 years and they got the big chance. So
I just haven't seen it in a few years.
Yeah. And while last night they had some really good singers and some just some moments that's the thing. They create these wonderful moments on the show. And we sit in, it's 2 hours and we just sit, zipping through commercials, and it's so much fun. Anyway, I did want to mention that the French Dispatch is now available. This is Wes Anderson's new movie that's available on HBO. You also have The Free Guy available on Disney Plus, which I saw, and it is totally fun. Ryan Reynolds plays I keep forgetting what they're called. In a video game, the people who are like the back.
NPC.
Yes. So he plays one of those that all of a sudden starts thinking. And so he's like becoming his own character, but he shouldn't be. And so it's the video game people are like, why is he doing this? What's going on? And then there's a whole other storyline arc that goes on there that I don't want to open up about, but really fun show. Really fun.
And it's a series?
No, this is a movie that was out
Oh, okay.
last summer. Free Guy, and just so good and worth seeing. It's about 2 hours long, and it zips by, and it's very colorful, I guess, because it's video games, but the look of it is really good too. I also saw Kingsman, which I know you saw.
Mhm.
And so it was interesting. I looked up Rasputin's death,
Yeah.
and he was actually killed by some noble conservative conservative nobles, is what they said, who went and killed him. And it's like, oh my God, I thought that was like, well, they're taking some liberties here, but no, no, it could have actually been them. It could have
Yeah.
actually been. I did think that the beginning of the movie was real slow,
Yes.
but the ending of the movie was really good. So
Yes.
yeah,
But I'll tell you that one moment in the kind of middle, or well, middle end of the movie just hit me.
I know which one you're talking about.
It just came out of nowhere, and it's like I almost knew that something was going to happen, but God, that actually took me, because the movie was actually a really fun movie.
Yeah.
Like the whole series, I always think they're fun movies, but that one just like, oh my God, it just knocked me down. Anyway, yeah. What else?
And other than that, just Chubs hugs out to Kathy Bacon on her the eve of her birthday month.
Yes. So awesome.
Oh, I did see Ali Wong too. I forgot to mention that. Ali
Oh,
Wong's her new special on Netflix.
yeah.
I laughed so hard. Oh my God.
Good.
And it was laugh out loud, not just titter, hee hee, not that. It's like where you're laughing into the next joke, laughing.
Mhm.
So but she stomped a lot on stage. It was weird.
Okay.
Well, because she looks like she's tiny, and that is not an Asian reference. She just looks like she's tinier,
Yeah.
and she had this high neck dress, which made her look even shorter. But no, if you don't have,
Mhm.
like us, we don't look like we have necks, so we look shorter. And she was wearing Vans flats, and it was a weird kind of look, but and her stomping, it reminded me of what um, oh, Sunset Boulevard, the guy who wrote Cats and all that. Um,
Oh,
um, yeah,
yes.
Phantom of the Opera. Okay, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yes.
He said that watching Patti LuPone play Gloria Swanson's character in Sunset Boulevard she was like stomping around in army boots. And so when I see people do that, it reminds me of that. So
Interesting.
Kathy, okay.
Yeah. Well, good. I might have to try to watch that. That laugh out loud type thing. The last one that was able to do that to me was Drew Lynch. Do you know who he is? He's the young comedian that has the stutter.
No, I don't think I
Okay,
know.
I'll have to introduce you to his work, because he can make me just laugh out loud, and I love anybody that can do that. Okay, so for me, I caught up. I actually have not watched hardly anything this week, so I kind of did a rush catch up with a few things last night, and started with how I actually started with Single Drunk Girl, and I'm kind of into the show. I felt like there's the boss character, the one that in the first episode she hit with, I don't know, whatever the fuck it was, and like cut his head open and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he's back in the last couple episodes, and in this one, if it felt like everything he was doing was somehow improv. So if he's doing the script and he's doing that, I don't know, maybe that's good acting, but it was kind of off-putting. It kind of made me feel like he was just making shit up as they went. So that was, like I said, off-putting. It just seemed forced.
I think
Um,
that's the point. He's always trying to, his character is always trying to be PC.
yeah.
So when one person says this, he agrees with them, but then looks at the other person and goes, because of this blah, 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 blah. So he's constantly trying to stay,
Yeah.
not offend anyone, but by actually trying, if he tries to give his own opinion, he's offending somebody with that opinion. And so he wants to smooth things out.
Yeah. And I'm sure that it was good, but I don't know, it just didn't, he didn't kind of connect with me. But I thought that I think the show is really good, and I like where she's going with it. So I think at the end of the season, when they make her fall off the wagon, they better do it right. Otherwise, I'm not going to believe it, because right now she's getting her shit together, and that's good. Call Me Kat. This week it just rocked. This is the comedy I knew it could be. So I love them. I hope they keep their stride. I hope they keep this level of show going. It was good. And then How I Met Your Father. So I like all the characters on this show except the two romantic leads, the songwriter guy and the chick that it's all supposed to be centered on. I don't give a shit about them. Like, seriously, when she comes on screen, I kind of start doing other stuff. But the rest of the characters are really good. They have flavor, they have humor. Even the lesbian sister is finally interesting. So I'm kind of sad that their leads are kind of blah. And I know they're probably supposed to be an ensemble and they're not supposed to be leads, but to me, it seems like they're pushing them as the romantic leads.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but it's so blasé. I mean, these guys it's like they're walking through the scripts.
Yeah.
Because the scripts are so basic.
They are, and that's true. That's it. They're basic. They're your basic little comedy. Let's throw something together. Let's, get a platform. Let's make some money. Maybe it'll run a season if we're lucky.
No, I think what they're doing is they're thinking there's no way this can lose because we're playing off of How I Met Your Mother that ran for years and years and years. And now we're going to be on Hulu, which means they're going to give us more opportunities to stay on the air because we're not going to be judged quite the same way that they judge network television.
The thing that gets me is you put it, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And yet here we have One Day at a Time and the reboot. And I know I harp on this sometimes, but I ended up watching the entire series again this week.
Yeah.
99% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb, 91% of Google reviewers like the show. It is a phenomenal show. And it gets, we're done with this because we don't feel it has enough people watching or whatever. And yet, here we are with How I Met Your Father, which is the most basic, as you said, formulaic. Well, whatever, it's 20 minutes before the next show, so let's just get through it. And then there's a show like that just gets put out to pasture halfway through season 4, and it's that damn good. I don't get it. Anyway, I haven't caught up on the Gilded Age, and I watched maybe 2.5 episodes of The Woman Across the Street from the Windmill in the Side of the Road with the lunchbox. I'm okay with it. I want to finish it. I think it's good, but I was just not, I think, in the mood to watch it when I was watching it, and it kind of
You've got to finish it.
Yeah.
You can't stall.
Well, especially if Brian likes the ending and everything, then I'm like, okay, well, I'll give it a try. But yeah, it was so twisty, turny, kind of fucked up. Like, I just felt so bad and creepy for her, that I just kind of had to stop at episode 2. But I will finish it because it is a good show. 2 movies that I watched, well, kind of. I watched about 45 minutes of House of Gucci with Lady Gaga and that other actor.
Adam Driver.
I just don't get Adam Driver. Sorry, I just don't. He's a good actor, but I just don't get him. It's good. It's really good. I'm going to finish it tonight. So far, I'm looking forward to the intrigue and the drama and the craziness of whatever follows, because right now, 45 minutes in, I'm like, okay, good setup. I'm in. Let's go. So I hope that they have, I don't know, something happen. But so far, I like it. And then I did watch another. I have three after this of the Oscar contenders that I'm going to watch, and I've watched them all. But I watched King Richard with
Will Smith.
Thank you. And it's about the two tennis players, the Venus and
Serena.
Thank you.
Williams.
Thank you. Who are now 40 and 41, by the way. See, that I remembered. It's a fucking awesome film. It really is. The hard part, there are some hard parts to watch, but Will Smith does an amazing job. Oh, and by the way, he wears a lot of short tennis shorts, and he's got very beautiful legs. Just saying in there, they're almost lickable. Okay, they are lickable. Anyway, but
are they lickable like Ray Fiennes' leg is?
Yes. And by the way, when I saw that scene, I was all like, okay, it's kind of creepy that it's Rasputin, but the rest of it, I would be there. I would do that. It's lovely. It's really good. I can see why it got an Oscar nom. So yeah, I would definitely say if you're gonna, watch just a few of the Oscar films or whatever, King Richard is one that you definitely need to see. So excellent film. And that's kind of it. So yeah. So Fat Marker, you know what they want to do?
Tell me.
They want to remind us to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be, well, us. Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who have been told that we are too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And Chubs Gone Wild listeners, you can do that by using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything while ordering over at fatmarkerclothing.com. And now it's time to get into some advice. Here we go. I have a very needy friend. Don't we all, girl? We have been friends since high school and are now 40. Well, I realized years ago that I wasn't enjoying the friendship that much, but stayed because Jane doesn't have many other friends and struggles with mental health as I do. The trouble is Jane doesn't exactly treat me very well. She criticizes my choices and never misses an opportunity to boost her self-esteem at my expense. Sounds like many of our friends. Anyway, if we're in a group, she brings up any story she can think of, usually from high school, that she thinks will embarrass me. This will blame, and then she will blame me for things that are associated with my PTSD, like not being able to drive and visit her because I have panic attacks on long car rides. But here's where I think I screwed up. Long story short, I said something in a phone call to upset her and she hung up on me. I tried to text and sincerely apologize, but Jane is still combative over the text, and then texted some things I regret. They were mostly true, but still, I shouldn't have said what I said. After years of putting up with her, I just lost it, and it was still inappropriate. I think it's better to end the friendship. Here's the question: to ghost or not to ghost? I blocked her number because I didn't want to get dragged into a conversation about this. I think it's better for me to just walk away, and I don't need to justify that decision. It may even be better for her given how I behaved. But do I owe her at least a text letting her know? Do I owe it to myself to own what I said and try again to apologize, even if I don't want to be friends again.
What a bitch. She
What?
causes the problem and then she ghosts her friend because she doesn't want to deal with the fact that somebody might be mad at me. What a bitch. I'm sorry. I'm done with her. Good. No, ghost her all you want because I wouldn't want to hear from you again if I was her friend.
Okay. Well, judging from this, the other friend isn't exactly very nice.
Oh, what? Because you're trusting this bitch on what she's saying is true.
Well, we have to.
Well, I don't have to.
We have to go on
real.
this letter.
Yeah. No, I think she's.
I think she just needs to block the number and let it go.
I know, but she's, well, like I said, believe me, her friend is going to be glad she blocked the number and is ghosting her forever. Ghost away. I don't care. I wouldn't want to talk to her either.
Yeah. Yep.
It's best for everybody here. Everyone's happy.
Everyone is happy because they just don't want to talk anymore. I've had a couple friendships that, it was the right thing to do to just walk away, leave it, don't communicate. That was the best thing. And sometimes you just have to do that for both parties. Anyway, Tom agrees. Moving on. Dear Ghosting, says Dear Prudy. Oh, by the way, this is from Dear Prudy at slate.com. Go check them out. Read their stuff. Get a subscription if you so desire. I don't think it counts as ghosting if a friendship ends with losing it over text. Ghosting is when you disappear and the other person doesn't know what happened. Jane knows what happened here, but just to clear your conscience and provide some closure for you both, it might feel good to send a text that says something like, "Hi, Jane, you may not want to hear from me after some of the inappropriate things I said recently, and I understand that. I want to apologize again for my cruel words. As much as I regret them, this incident has also solidified for me that our friendship is not good for me and brings out my worst qualities. So I hope you agree that we should wish each other well, wish each other the best, and not be in touch in the future." Oh, I do not like that. Why just open up the can of, just, take a knife and slit her wrists and then make her relive the whole thing? Just let it go. You people take a note from Elsa and just fucking move on.
I agree.
So there we go.
Horrible situation.
She said what to say, so that was probably the newer Prudy. She's always telling people what to say.
Right.
Hey, Chubs, what spices are your go-to favorites while cooking?
I really like the Old Bay seasoning.
Okay, I have some of that.
Because it's nice and it gives a nice spice to things. But when I use it, I always sneeze. Always. And I'm a big pepper fan too. I like pepper a lot.
What do you put Old Bay on? Like everything, or
fish, chicken, pork. Yeah.
okay.
I put it on beef. On beef, I usually there's a thing we have called Montreal steak seasoning, and it's basically salt and pepper and granulated garlic, and it's excellent, and it seasons up beef really well. But I tend not to use that. I use the other stuff on. I mean, the Old Bay on the or any spicy, because there's variations of Old Bay, but they're all pretty much the same. They give a nice bite to things, and I like. Yeah.
I thought it was just something that you used on like
Fish.
Yeah, or crab or lobster, whatever, seafood. So yeah, I haven't really ever used it. Lawrence used it. So mine are, I have a thing of, I think it's Lowry's. It's the green bottle that is the garlic salt with little flakes of parsley in it. And that is my main seasoning that I go to for a lot of stuff. And then of course, salt, pepper. Next level is thyme and sage. Love working with, having thyme and sage on stuff, especially, it gives that Thanksgiving yumminess. So yeah, those are my mains. Hey Chubs, how many times have you tried diet pills?
Too many.
Yeah. Did any of them work at the time?
Oh yeah, they work really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at me.
Well, I said at the time.
No, they don't work.
Okay.
But then if you look at all of them, they all stay the same thing. You should be exercising and dieting at the same time.
Yeah. It's like all those people that advertise that we have the secret to weight loss. All you have to do is add butter to your coffee and it'll just shed the pounds as long as you're getting plenty of exercise and eating, 100 calories a day. It's like everything is all related to diet and exercise. So anyway, so yeah, I have before, but not to that level. I think the main supplement thing that I ever had was probably when I was in Jenny Craig in my early 20s. So yeah, I did that. All right, here is a trivia question for you, sir. It turns out that Justin Bieber is coming to town in a concert. So what is the net worth of Justin Bieber?
$130 million.
Not too bad, but it's actually $285 million because a lot of little children, boys and girls, asked their parents for money to buy his songs on shit. So anyway, fucker's rich. Makes you think you might like tattoos. Who knows? Well, I know what I like. A nice long what's in your lunchbox. And we got some feedback here from Mr. Phoenix Dave. And he says, thank you for talking about the kolaches on the last show. See, I remembered how to pronounce it. And to answer some of your questions, first, Tom, I was asking if I was in Chicago. I am from and live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I've lived all over the South United States, including spending 18 months in Phoenix. I fell in love with the area mainly because of the mountains everywhere, so I adopted Phoenix Dave as my online moniker. Secondly, Matt was questioning how to say the word boudin. It is pronounced boudin. Sometimes the N is silent or hardly pronounced, so boudin. Third, Tom was asking about the bread. As I was researching exactly what kolache bread consists of, I found that what I've been seeking for the past year should be called klobasniki, klobasniki, pronounced klobasniki. I had no idea. I had no idea the bread, sorry, I'm being silly. I had no idea the bread is a type of roll that is soft like a hot, fresh hot dog bun, which I like that. That's pretty good. The original kolache is from Czech and is filled with fruit. In the 1950s, Texas took out the fruit and added sausage. Sounds like Texas. Louisiana swapped out the sausage for boudin. These are breakfast sandwiches and available only at donut shops throughout the South, Texas to Georgia. I have attached two pictures. The first is the outside of the klobasniki, which is about 6 inches long. And about 1.5 inches wide. Matt, get your mind out of the gutter. That's exactly where it was. The second picture is the inside of the boudin klobasniki, which I can still call kolache because it's easier to pronounce. I'm from Louisiana and my white privilege is showing. Just kidding. Now, to get all of these donut shops to start calling it what it really is. Thanks for the great show. And there are those photos, and that bread, I love that type of bread.
Yeah, I was holding up my pin because he put the pin next to it to show you how big they really are.
Wow.
So yeah, so here's the pin,
Uh-huh.
and you think it's a little bit bigger, so you're going to need two of those. That's all.
Oh yeah, two.
But it
And
looks
it's
so
more than
good.
two. Yeah.
We don't have this here.
No, and we need it. I really would like to try those.
Yeah, you open up a shop.
Hey, I would. I don't know how to cook, but I would.
Hey,
Okay, next up we have Mr. Mr. Moose P, who wrote in and said, back to healthy eating, chicken skewers, white meat, chicken marinated with a touch of oil, vinegar, and spices. Also, a fruit salad, fresh strawberries, red seedless grapes, cara orange slices. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Found this in the grocery store. They called it bacon wrapped chicken breast. Oh, sounds lovely. Oh, roast. It's pre-seasoned, and all I had to do was put it on a baking sheet and roast it for an hour. Even had a pop-up timer like a turkey. Was good and very easy. Sides of roasted zucchini and mashed potatoes. That looks wonderful.
I'm so hungry right now.
I know. Looking at that bacon wrapped chicken breast is just gorgeous. Thank you, Mr. Moose. You made our oh, and we do have a submission from Mr. Mike Perry, who says, I made some chicken vegetable soup in the Instant Pot. And wow, that is a really good bowl of soup right there. I love the Instant Pot. Mr. Ramble was the one who got one for me, and let me tell you, I haven't used it that much, but every time I do, I'm like, why don't I use this more? This is wonderful.
Well, I don't have an Instant Pot. I have just a pressure cooker. And I don't use it as much as I did when Honey was alive, but it's the best thing to make soup.
Yeah.
You just throw bones in, you make some bone broth, you strain it out, and you've got all this wonderful broth left over, or stock, depending on how you want to call it. And then you can just add what you want to it. You create a different soup every night. You want to do some noodles and some chicken, and then the next night you want to do an all vegetable one. The next night you want to do just warm broth. It's great having on hand. And this looks just so yummy.
It does. That's a great job, Mike. Well, it is time. Send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Send us what's in your lunchbox or a response to the advice or anything else you like. Send a happy birthday wishes to Kathy Bacon this next month here. You can do all that through, sending us an email at chubsgonewild.com. Hey, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Watch our videos on YouTube. Just Google Chubs Gone Wild. Also, please consider becoming a patron of the show at patreon.com/Matt Burlingame. Find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swannerandjudd.com and find their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books at justkisstheguy.com and check out my other podcast at biggaySexShow.com. New episode out yesterday. Also, give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
And to honor the wish of Miss Bacon, another Chub hug. Happy birthday at the end of the show.
Chub hugs, Chub hugs, Chub hugs.
Yes. 3 times fast. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.